If you look at the lives of the most successful people in history, leaders, entrepreneurs, thinkers, and creators, you will find a common pattern. They may come from different backgrounds, different countries, even different centuries. But there is one golden thread that connects them all: the way they structure their days. Show me your daily routine, and I will show you your future. I know this from experience. When I was younger, I had no real direction. I worked hard, yes, but without structure. I drifted from one thing to another. I thought success was about intensity, about occasional bursts of effort. But then I discovered something: life-changing success is not built in a single day. It is built by what you do every day. And that is what I want to share with you today. The daily routines of highly productive people, the habits and disciplines that separate achievers from dreamers, doers from talkers. 1. The morning foundation. The day begins the night before. Productive people understand this. They go to bed at a reasonable time so they can rise early, refreshed and ready. When I began practicing this, my life changed almost overnight. Instead of waking up late, rushing to work, and already feeling behind, I began rising early. I used the first hour of the day to prepare my mind and body. I read, I exercised, I reviewed my goals. The first hour is the rudder of the day. If you control your morning, you control your life. 2. The power of planning. After the morning routine comes planning. Productive people do not leave their day to chance. They write down their priorities before the day begins. I still remember when one of my mentors told me, "Brian, every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution." At first, I ignored this advice. I thought planning was a waste of time. But then I tried it. I discovered that when I started each day with a written list of my top priorities, I got more done in hours than I used to in days. Planning turns chaos into clarity. It is the steering wheel of productivity. 3. The discipline of focus. But planning is not enough. The key is execution, and that requires focus. Highly productive people practice what I call single-minded concentration. They identify their most important task, the one that will create the greatest value, and they work on it first, without interruption, until it is complete. I call this eating the frog. If the first thing you do each morning is tackle your biggest, hardest, most important task, the rest of the day flows with energy and confidence. I used this principle to build my entire speaking and writing career. Day after day, I focused on the single activity that mattered most, whether it was preparing a talk, making sales calls, or writing pages of a book. And those daily acts, small in the moment, multiplied into extraordinary results. 4. Healthy habits for high energy. Now, let's talk about fuel. Productivity is not just about time management, it is about energy management. You cannot run a high-performance life on low-quality fuel. Highly productive people guard their health carefully. They exercise daily, they eat clean foods, they hydrate, and they rest. I once worked with an executive who was always tired, always behind, always stressed. I asked him about his routine. He admitted he skipped breakfast, ate fast food, and worked late into the night. I suggested he change just 3 things: start his day with exercise, drink more water, and go to bed earlier. Within weeks, his productivity skyrocketed, not because he worked harder, but because he had more energy. Energy is the foundation of achievement. Guard it. 5. Continuous learning daily. The next routine of highly productive people is daily learning. They feed their mind with new ideas every day. I developed the habit of listening to audio programs in my car, what I call Automobile University. Instead of wasting hours in traffic, I turned that time into learning. Over the years, those hours compounded into the equivalent of multiple advanced degrees. Every day, learn something new. Read for 30 minutes, listen to a podcast, study your field. Small doses of daily learning will make you one of the most knowledgeable people in your profession. 6. Time mastery. Now, let's talk about time. Time is life. To waste time is to waste life. Highly productive people are ruthless with their minutes. They ask, "Is this the best use of my time right now?" Over and over again. They avoid time wasters, mindless scrolling, idle chatter, pointless meetings. When I began to treat time as precious currency, everything changed. I started saying no more often. I stopped doing things that didn't matter, and I found that I could accomplish in one focused day what used to take me a week. Guard your time as you would guard a fortune, because it is one. 7. The habit of saying no. That brings us to another critical routine. The habit of saying no. Unproductive people say yes to everything. Productive people are selective. They understand that every yes is also a no to their priorities, their health, their family, their goals. I once made the mistake of saying yes to every opportunity. As a result, I spread myself too thin, achieved little, and burned out. But once I learned to politely but firmly say no to low-value activities, my results multiplied. The word no is a productivity superpower. Use it wisely. 8. Review and reflection. Highly productive people do not just rush through life. They pause to review and reflect. At the end of each day, they ask, what went well? What could I improve tomorrow? These small reflections create powerful course corrections. I remember keeping a journal where every evening I wrote down lessons learned. Over time, those reflections gave me insights I would have never gained otherwise. Experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is. 9. Consistency over intensity. Now, here is a principle that many overlook. Consistency beats intensity. Anyone can work hard for a day, but the great achievements of history are built on daily disciplines, repeated over years. When I was writing books, I didn't wait for inspiration. I wrote every day, sometimes a little, sometimes a lot, but always something. 1 page a day becomes a book in a year. 10 pages a day becomes a library in a lifetime. Success is rarely about dramatic breakthroughs. It is about small disciplines practiced consistently. 10. Living with purpose. Finally, the most productive people live with purpose. Productivity is not about being busy. It is about being effective. It is about doing what matters most. When you align your daily routines with your highest values, your work becomes meaningful. You stop measuring success by how many tasks you completed and start measuring it by how much value you created, how much progress you made toward your vision. Purpose is the ultimate fuel for productivity. Without it, you can be busy all day and still feel empty. With it, even the hardest work feels worthwhile. Closing. So, what are the daily routines of highly productive people? They start strong in the morning. They plan each day carefully. They focus on their most important task. They guard their health for high energy. They learn something every day. They manage their time as life itself. They say no to distractions. They review and reflect daily. They stay consistent, not just intense. They live and work with purpose. This is the formula. It has been proven across centuries and across cultures. If you practice these routines every day, you will join the small percentage of people who accomplish more in a year than most accomplish in a lifetime. And here is the call to action. Don't wait. Starting tonight, decide what your routine will be tomorrow morning. Write it down, commit to it, and then practice it day after day. Remember this truth: success is not built in a day. It is built daily. The routines you follow today will create the life you live tomorrow. Choose wisely, act consistently, and your future will be nothing short of extraordinary. Thank you.